The next paper bears the title, From Fiction to Reality, The Ethics of Warfare in the Robotic Age. Please welcome Jarrod Woods.
The year is 2029, when the robotic army Skynet has nearly annihilated the entire human population. An army of machine gun-wielding humanoid robots have the goal of eliminating the rest of the humans. The survivors, a group known as the Resistance, do everything in their power to defeat Skynet, yet they continue to find themselves being exterminated by the Terminators that kill without remorse. Beginning with Arnold Schwarzenegger to an army of robotic soldiers, the Terminator movies have created the common belief that the military should never implement robotic systems. However, using artificial intelligence in today's modern systems is now an ordinary component of warfare. Robotics and AI systems are beginning to be such commonplace pieces of technology that we consider them a normal part of modern life. It is crucial that we understand the moral and physical effects that automated systems will have on us. Our wars will not be fought with old technologies and strategies. Rather, it is up to the new technology, the advancement and understanding of autonomous systems, and how we incorporate those systems that will define ourselves and our wars. So what exactly is an autonomous system? Automated systems are robotic systems that have the capabilities to process feedback, accurately assess and understand discrete situations, and can follow orders without any or very little human interaction. Autonomous warfare takes advantage of the technology of human-controlled robots and further advances that, and yet advances beyond that to increase autonomy and freedom for humans. Since these systems do not require human interaction, they're able to deploy faster decision-making skills. And since computers process information faster than humans and many times more effectively than the human mind. In the field of robotics, one of the many leaders of robotic engineering, Boston Dynamics, have created a multitude of autonomous systems with varying capabilities. For example, their Atlas robot is able to negotiate through tough outdoor and indoor terrain, while their LS3 leg squad support system is designed to follow a specific soldier and can negotiate through extreme off-road condition in order to go anywhere where that soldier may go. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency and the United States Marine Corps decided to fund this LS3 robot since its primary function is to serve the soldier. Since robotics and the way we use them continue to create or may create many possible ethical issues, we should consider just war theory and its role in how we think about our wars. The way in which we decide to exploit advancing technology will discern whether or not we stay in the boundaries of a truly just war. When it comes down to it, a just war is defined by having two parts: entering a war for a just reason and conducting that warfare in the most ethical ways possible. Even though just war theory was created many centuries ago, it still applies to today, and it is just war theory that will allow us to stay in the boundaries of a just war. Therefore, the use of automated systems in today's modern warfare will be greatly beneficial for purposes such as defense, protection, and aiding soldiers in combat, but only in these uses. For automated systems to do so, they must be developed and designed so as to allow us to use them in the most ethical ways possible. Not only that, but it is crucial that we create these systems to not cause unjust wars, rather to follow the guidelines of the century-old idea and tradition of just war theory. In the past decades, we have entered into an era where we are able to create extremely lethal weapons that have the capacity to wipe out entire cities. As such, it is crucial that we do not try to extend weapons power and create weapons of mass destruction. Rather, we must ensure that we take this opportunity to develop weapons and systems that have the potential to save lives while still remaining lethal to our enemies. Noel Sharkey, an expert in robotics, believes that there is the ideal partnership between the robot and the human that increases humanitarian impact. The ideal partnership enables the commander to do 5 specific things: have full contextual and situational awareness of the specific target area at a time of attack, be able to perceive and react to unanticipated situations, have active cognitive participation in the attack, be able to have sufficient time for the deliberation on the nature of the target, and have a means for the rapid suspension of the attack. These restrictions in the development and design of automated systems creates the systems that with proper control and design allow us to use them in the most ethical ways possible and allow us to stay in the boundaries of a truly just war. Not only that, but by incorporating the powers of both the human intelligence and automated systems, we see how we can enable the human warfighter with sensors, processors, and effectors beyond the normal range of the human limit in order to unburden the most effective weapon of war, the human mind. Furthermore, Center of New American Security Chief Executive Officer Robert Work and Executive Vice President Sean Brimley wrote a report titled 20YY in which they say, in such a regime, the winners will likely be those who best leverage the unique advantages of both machine and human intelligences. Automated systems have the capacity to be used in many circumstances, that is, being deployed in the land, air, and sea. However, the real issue of automated weapon systems is how we decide to deploy and use them in the most ethical ways possible. There is the capacity to maintain a just war if the military is able to utilize these systems for defensive operations only. Ancient Roman philosopher and politician Cicero studied and gave his thoughts on the millennium-old tradition of just war theory. Cicero stated that war is never undertaken in the ideal state except for in defense of its honor and safety. Furthermore, Francisco Suarez, a Spanish Jesuit priest and philosopher, stated that a defensive war is not only permitted, yet is sometimes even commanded. Suarez believed that since we are all humans, we have the right to self-defense, which is a natural law. Since it seems as if there will always be conflicts going around us, we must decide to fight our wars for defensive purposes and not in offensive purposes. That is not fighting for a significant gain for ourselves. In today's modern military, technology continues to present new ways of killing our enemies or protecting our soldiers. That being said, I stress I'm arguing for the incorporation of automated systems for defensive purposes only, and not for the offensive. Using automated systems for defensive purposes would create disproportionality in war. Whether it is protecting a ship, a soldier, aiding a soldier in combat, or even just gathering information, automated systems must only be used for defensive purposes. Using automated systems for offensive purposes would change the war from a war fought between humans to a war fought between robots, and that is something nearly all of us would not be in favor of. When considering implementing robotics in warfare, opponents argue that it would be disproportional to save American lives at the cost of others. Furthermore, it could be said that the systems would be replacing lives of soldiers, and that system would be responsible of the death of our enemies and possibly innocent civilians. Would it be just to let an autonomous system do the killing for us and for that system to have the capacity to take the lives of others? Using automated systems in today's modern warfare is actually proportional because of the way our enemies have attacked us in our past. As of today, our wars are being fought against terrorist organizations who use terror and fear to accomplish their goals. Instead of declaring war or having troops deployed in a certain area, they strike whenever they want, and many times we do not see it coming. They use the element of surprise to kill hundreds, sometimes even thousands of people in only a limited amount of time. Is it fair for our enemies to strike in this manner, since instead of declaring war and fighting our troops, they are targeting and killing our civilians? Using automated systems against terrorist organizations is proportional because of these circumstances. It would be different if these terrorist organizations had an organized military that would deploy troops and declare war against us. However, since they use unfair methods of killing, we should be using the forces necessary to stop these terrorist organizations. We should be using the forces necessary to remove the threat of these organizations in order to preserve and protect our nation and our world, and automated systems will allow us to further do so. It seems very likely that we will continue to exploit the technology that autonomous and robotic systems provide to us in our military. These systems have the substantial opportunity to provide the best protection to our soldiers on the front line and our nation. The military's job is to protect and preserve our nation, and with automated systems, they could further follow through on that promise. I implore you to consider the multitude of benefits that automated systems would provide to us in our military, for automated systems are the future of war, and it is these systems that may have to protect you one day. Thank you.